Hi guys and welcome back. Today is Tuesday, September 21st, 2021. Welcome to the SWINGCAST. Here's Gremlins for all who keep asking. Close up of my cat. Here you go. Lay down. Congratulations on being in the video today. Let's get into it. Off the bat, let's not even waste any more time. The first 5 courses are available. Bum, bum, bum. So if you really wanted to learn how I do what I do and not pay anything for it, except for the last 25 will be on my Discord and my Patreon. Other ones will be free. But you want to actually get to know how to do what I do and not pay some idiot who has absolutely no history of doing well in this, well, welcome, here I am. In the description box will be the first 5 videos linked below. You can also look right here. Right there will be the first episode, and at the end of that one will be linked, the second one, the third, and you can go watch the course that's now been released. If you're just here for the watch list, great. We'll get into that as well, but for now, let's just talk about what we're going to be doing today. First off is technical analysis. Again, the 8 things I focus on, which the course does cover, is risk management, technical, fundamental, mental analysis, a trading plan, goal setting, macro markets, and consistency. When it comes to technical analysis, I vet these as best I possibly can before I really get into them, so you have some good picks, and I think most of these are pretty good. But we're talking about supports, resistances, trend lines, patterns, EMA lines, volume profile, RSI, stochastic, vortex indicator, all these kinds of great things. With that being said, I don't want to take too much more time, and let's just get into it. So first is CSTM. Get off me, cat. I know you're so excited to be here today. When it comes to CSTM, the support's the white line, the resistance is the orange line. The trend line is golden, the resistance trend line is orange and dotted. These 2 white dotted lines is from the volume profile where 7% of volume happens, and this is where the POC is, where the top volume node is. I don't have the time now to talk about volume profile all that in depth. You may find that not surprising, seeing as this has to be a pretty quick show, but right here, you can watch the whole entire 15-20 minute volume profile breakdown. I do have a new one coming out, but for now, watch that one. You will thank me later. Trust me. CSTM does break a bit, so I think I'm going to start going more towards horizontal plays with this one. And with that being said, the horizontal support here is amazing. Yes, you may see something close to 1814. Yes, you may even see something close to 1770. Anywhere in here is going to be a good reversal. I think with a trend going up, if the market shows some life, this has a really good chance of also shooting up with it. This is a really good trend, really good support, and again, this could be anywhere you want to do it. You have to chart yourself. Don't just rely on me. I think anywhere in that area looks pretty good. I think anywhere down here looks fine to me. POC is gravitational, pulling us higher. Risk, very low. Reward, massive in my opinion. Let's check the indicators. What's so cool about this channel is that I actually don't use indicators while I'm scanning. It's 100% going to be right off of price action. And I'm going to use indicators for 4 things and 4 things only. Trend, momentum, volume, and volatility. That's it. As long as those 4 things are hit with the indicators, I'm happy using them. But to rely so heavily on them is not always the best idea. The price action should always be the cake. Indicators are just the icing. I've not looked at these yet. As we can see, CSTM's 200 EMA line is absolutely marvelous. It hits it plenty of times. Bounce, 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 bounce. It bounces off. Every time you get close to it, it's support. Underneath it's a great value. Right there, a picture perfect entry. Again, you may want to risk 3 or 4%, sure, but you can make 8 a 2-to-1 with just a crossover the 50, which has no problem doing. Indicators, trends up. I'm putting a lot of emphasis into the support line, and this trend line looks really good there. RSI, it's low. Great. Stochastic, it's low. No true divergence, but negative 28 is pretty good. Bulls low, value, bears high, overbought on selling. CSTM, it's every single box you'd want to see for a really good uptrending play. Everything's in your favor. It's basically a 10 out of 10 if the sector it's in is good and the indexes are looking strong. Otherwise, it's pretty good. Otherwise, I just want to make sure the indicators, or I also make sure that the macro markets look really good. But CSTM, you have to watch this. Every time it hits a 200, absolute snack. Next is CSWC, Capital Southwest Corporation. Look at this great uptrend. You could probably see what we call a broadening wedge right there, and now it's resetting itself into what looks like to be an ascending triangle. Maybe a small uptrend channel right here. We're gonna see. But look at same resistance, and it's got higher lows. I like ascending triangles. Long term, that's what we're looking at here. If this goes all the way up to about 28, that's your maximum price. great. It's showing life right here. A good move up today. If it holds, fantastic. It could come a little bit lower. Maybe 25.20 is the better entry. But it's a beautiful uptrend, a beautiful sailing triangle, possibly a channel up here forming. Either way, it's very bullish. I like what we see. Let's check out these indicators real quick. We can see the 200 once again. John Stonkton, Chef Boyer Swing, Bruce Wingstein. I got these nicknames for a reason. This is a complete snack. Once again, value, value, value. It bounces off this like support. It's holding. Your risk management policy crosses the 10, momentum buy. Love it. It goes beneath the 200. Cut it. Oh, the risk is tiny. The reward is huge. Great stuff. 40 RSI, pretty good. It bounces plenty here. See where the line is. It bounces plenty here. Really good. Stochastic, negative 33. If that blue crosses under the red, I'm going to wait. If that blue bounces off the red and keeps going, we'll be good to go. Bulls, oversold, bears, overbought. CSWC, once it clears that 10 EMA line and keeps going, perfect setup. Because you can go with that momentum trade all the way up. I love what I'm seeing. Definitely watch list it. Next is Facebook. I assume most of you guys have this watch listed. I hope. This is a fantastic channel up. Yes, it's broken down before. Yes, it breaks down a tiny bit. It's not perfect. But this trend is very, very evident. This is a great looking life here. A great amount of, comeback. Maybe it comes back down and retests this area. Even if this trend breaks, this support area is absolutely fantastic. This kind of does remind me of the NASDAQ and how it looks, obviously, because it's a big part of it, right? Those look very similar, obviously. And so the Facebook ticker and the NASDAQ holds above 350 here. That's a great sign of some life. I want to see it show a little bit more. Give me a higher high, okay? Give me over this area. Let me come up, pull back, go over 360. We're good to go for a buy-in. Looks really good here, low risk. Let's check the indicators. The 200 was a fantastic support. Not acting as it now. See how I broke below it? Now it's going to be a resistance. If you want to wait to get back over that, fine by me. But I think right down here, it's a great value. It's broken down before. And see, look at the 200 was a resistance. So waiting to get back over it, not a horrible idea, but again, value is very clear here. 30 RSI, never happens on Facebook. That's fantastic. Overbought, again, that's fine. We're building a support. We're building a support. May pull back down. They pull back down above 350 and come back and create a new higher low. That's fine by me. Bulls, oversold. Bears, overbought. Facebook, once again, is fantastic. The only thing you have to watch, macro markets. If the tech sector, if the comm sector, if NASDAQ pulls down, I'm sure Facebook is a part of that and will come down with it. Make sure you watch your macro markets. But Facebook, definitely watch list it. We see some life there. It could be a really easy swing trade for sure. Next is GS. This is an obvious broadening wedge. Look at this. All right, obvious broadening wedge. Why is that important? Whenever you see a broadening wedge, it looks like a megaphone like this. Every time you see that forming, what that means is that eventually you're going to stop hitting one of the resistance lines. You're going to stop hitting the resistance trend line or the supporting trend line. You'll start pressuring that resistance trend line, and you'll start pressuring this line up here, boop, 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 and make a new pattern up here, or you'll stop pressuring this at all and start only pressuring the trend line down here, boop, 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 making a new pattern. So if you see a broadening wedge, all you got to know is a new pattern is most likely coming. So I don't think this is going to be a realistic goal of hitting 430. I mean, 420 may be a really good goal long term here. But overall, your support, if it keeps breaking down, don't buy a knife. If it keeps breaking down, look at 353. Old resistance, support, support, support. This comes down to 350, absolute steal. If it shows life here, this trend keeps going. We're going to be forming a new ascending triangle possibly, or a new uptrend. It's gorgeous either way. I want to buy at 350. If I see life here, I want to buy here. I want to see where Goldman Sachs is headed. Let's check the indicators. Obviously, the EMA lines are going to be resistances when they're above us. So, I mean, the 200 is going to be resistance, but it's a good, 5% away already? Yeah, 5.5% away. Who cares right now? We have a great value. 30 in the RSI. Goldman Sachs doesn't go that low very often. That's a really good sign for value. Overall, no bearish divergence, no true bullish divergence either. It's just fair at best. Bulls low, bears high. I think Goldman Sachs in 20 years, where you bought it, doesn't matter. I think it's going to be a fantastic long-term hold, but for a swing trade right here or at 350 if it keeps crashing down, makes a whole lot of sense. Next is JBT, John Bean Technology. Bean. What's really good about JBT is this breakout. This is an all-time high area besides this really weird candle over here. This is going to be a nice breakout of an ascending triangle. It keeps pushing. Great. Keep making new pattern. Fantastic. There's literally no resistance. The only resistance is going to be volume. If bulls buy in, see ya. So I think it's going to be a really good, short-term swing. Maybe we see 160, 165. Then again, if this starts to die, don't get upset. Just watch this and wait for that trend line. This bad boy comes down to 145, 140. It does like this. Oh no, we're coming back down. You just buy again here and make 10% when you lost 2. No big deal. JBT, very easy breakout play here. Let's check the indicators. They're nice and squeezed because of this dumb line here. Let's do that. So as we can see, properly stacked 10, 50, 200 price on top. You're going to have your best runs on this time frame, the 180 day, when you're properly stacked. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let this bad boy run until you cross under the 10. Super simple play. RSI, we're bought. Again, it's all basically overbought because it's pushing higher. Again, you may see a pullback. If so, buy in lower. But for momentum trade, it makes a whole lot of sense here. JBT, not my typical purchase. I mean, if the markets look terrible tomorrow in red, that's my number one shorting one. I would definitely short that bad boy into the ground. But if the markets look green, they keep pushing, JBT for a breakout makes a whole lot of sense. I would definitely watch list it. Next is MCFE, McAfee Corp. And again, another obvious broadening wedge. Eventually, you'll not hit this resistance trend line, or you'll not hit this supporting trend line. You'll either do this up, and you'll start faffing around up here, or you're going to go up and just stay down here. You're either going to hit one of these trend lines more often than not and make a new pattern from there. Down here, old resistances become a new support. Look at it, consolidates. It takes its time on reversals, and that's what we're doing here. BEAU to full. If we get a full move, I don't think it's going to happen. 30% just to get a new high, right? And again, if you're risking what? 3? It's a 10 to 1. I mean, if this thing even does a bad job, makes a bad move, it's still a 4 to 1 just to get over this consolidation area. POC's active support. Traditional supports here. Trend line. What more do you want from a gorgeous play? Besides the resistance trend line being a broadening wedge, what more do you want? Well, let's check the indicators and let's see. Underneath the 200 value, again, it should have been a support. It did for a second. Support, and then it died. For now, wait for a 10 cross. If you see, ooh, look at that. If we do get a full candle over the 10, that's your first go long signal. It doesn't really seem to have an issue breaking the 50. A little bit over here, but once you break that 50, it's a wrap. Rocket ship. RSI 38, great. Stochastic is low, great. Bulls and bears are consolidating. That makes sense because look at us going sideways. Again, McAfee does this. It consolidates and makes little baby catcher mitts from price action comes back down. What's important to understand too is that most big moves come after consolidation. We have pure consolidation here. It's going to blow up one way or another. It's like a spring. I didn't say up. I said it's a spring coiling getting bigger. MCFE, if the fundamentals make sense, that dividend pays off and it does well, could be a huge rocket in the future. Next is OTLK, Outlook Therapeutics. This is worth, I think, 50 million. I could be wrong, but it's definitely under 100 million, I think. This is a very, very small micro ticker. Look at this gorgeous uptrend, though. Bounce, 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 bounce. And showing left again. Again, worst case Ontario. Risk 6%, right? It breaks the trend line. It's done. Okay, you can get in different ones. If this takes off to where it should be, 18, easily 26, almost a 5 to 1 for a pretty normal move for the stock. I mean, the 6 to 1 is pretty good. Check the FDA approval calendar, but if OTLK holds well here and this old support holds well, this bad boy could be an absolute rocket getting one of these bad boys. It may not happen like this. You may get one of these, or OTLK has that same kind of idea. Let's check the indicators. So as we can see, we zoom in, the 200 and the 50 will be resistances going forward. Once we get that 10 cross, though, that's our first good sign of life. We get that, we should be good to go. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, it looks pretty good. No real divergence. I mean, you have this. Higher lows, lower lows. That's a good sign. It's kind of muddled, but it's definitely there. We definitely have bulls low, bears high. I don't think it's the greatest idea to throw your whole account into a $300 million at most therapeutics company. But hey, if the technicals match out and the fundamentals look okay, taking a small position makes kind of a lot of sense to me, in my opinion. OTLK, watch list it. Let's see what it does into this week. Lastly is VTGN. Called the last time right over here. Kerchoo, 25% rocket. We're here again. Love it. There's a good chance this breaks down. If so, we're going to go for the support play. This does break this trend line. We're coming right down to about 259 once again. And anywhere in this POC 260 to 265 area. Absolute rocket, absolute value down here. Right here, not terrible. Let's go to the 1 year chart. Look at it. This trend has been an absolute monster. Now, again, you may be like, well, actually, if you do it correctly, it's more like this. Okay, well, let's do that then. Oh, look at that. It's still looking right there. It's probably just fine. So you may be seeing 270 or so, but this uptrend is absolutely golden. This supports so strong POC here. Volume profile line to break above. All the convergence here. What more could you possibly want? What a great uptrend. Even the wicks here match up. That's gorgeous. Let's check the indicators. Let's see this 200. I want to see that really quick. If I can click, we can see the 200. Value, 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 value. It has a hard time getting over it sometimes. But when you do, and all the energy builds up, pop, big move. Now they're below the 200. See that? It's trying to break above it. It's pushing it. Once this breaks over the 200, watch out. It could be a really great move here. Once it breaks that 10 for sure, it's over. It's a wrap. See you on Pluto. 38, great value. Stochastics low. Bulls are up. Bears, folks are still selling. If bears were to sell out and kind of die on us, which we want to see happen, it could be a huge move. VTGN, again, another therapeutics company. Do your fundamentals. Take your time researching. But when it comes to big possibilities, yeah, this bad boy makes a whole lot of sense to me. I would definitely watch list it into the future. And there you guys have it. I appreciate you guys sticking around for the whole episode. Thank you. 8 great stocks for tomorrow. Some therapeutics, some companies like Facebook over $1 trillion in net worth. That's a good mixed bag here. Otherwise, have a good rest of your Tuesday. Please go check out the class. It's been popping up here the whole time. It's easy to find on my page. I hope you guys enjoy the free information from someone who actually cares about helping people. Otherwise, have a good rest of you guys' week. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks.